Hello, everyone. My name is Anna Cross. Welcome to Earth Connection Project's interview series. Today, we have a very special guest. His name is Paul Groleau, and he works for a very cool company called Feather Friendly. Hello, Paul. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Anna. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, and we also have Sheri, and they both work for Feather Friendly. And that is a very cool company because what they do is that they protect birds from window collisions. And believe it or not, about 1 billion birds a year die from window collisions just in North America. So that's a bigger number than most people would think. So yeah, Paul, why don't you tell us a bit more about Feather Friendly? What is it that you guys do? And how do you guys work to accomplish your goals?
Sure. Well, we got started in this industry probably about 16, 17 years ago. The city of Toronto was the first city in the world to develop BirdSafe guidelines. So basically, it's legislation that all new construction take in consideration bird-friendly glass, as well as other criteria to more or less on the conservation end of birds. As you mentioned in your opening there, it's up to 1 billion, and I always say, yes, that's with a B, are killed per year just in North America due to window collisions. So we got started in this because our sister company was involved in the film industry, in the window film industry for countless years. And the initial sort of conversation around it was a gentleman called Michael Mazura from Flap Canada had reached out to our owner about the possibility of developing something that could help with collision mitigation. So we spent probably about 1.5 to 2 years developing a product. It is fully tested and approved by ABC, which is the American Bird Conservancy, endorsed by Dr. Daniel Clem, National Audubon Society, as well as Flap Canada, amongst countless other organizations. Fast forward 15 years, we have probably about over 5 million square feet of product installed worldwide.
Nice.
We do a lot of commercial buildings, a lot of residences. We've done temples, we've done zoos, we've done nature centers, national parks, and everywhere in between. We just did the first large-scale collision mitigation project in New Zealand, and it spurred on a second one within a week. And just before Christmas, we did a project in Istanbul, Turkey. We have partnerships all over the world, one of them being with Emirates Glass in United Arab Emirates. So yeah, it's we are extremely lucky to be in this industry. There's something very special about being part of education and conservation, as well as offering a proven solution. There was a independent paper just published in the Peer Journal, and pre-monitoring, post-monitoring of some projects out in BC on the West Coast yielded a 95% reduction in strikes. So you can imagine the impact to the bird population that it has. And again, it's quite exciting for us to be a part of this. I get to be a part of some really, really neat projects. And the great thing is we're saving birds and we're adding to the conservation efforts of so many other groups. So our sort of mission or our goal is to, have every glass surface treated. And part of that is education. So if it's not our product, it's still a win. If we can have windows addressed, it is going to add to that bird population.
Yeah, definitely, especially nowadays where there's a lot of big buildings that are mostly just windows, which, is nice because you can see there's more natural light and you can see outside, but that has a huge impact on birds. So yeah, what you guys do is great. It's kind of like what you guys are seeing in the image. So there are stickers, right, that you have to place. There's YouTube videos. It's not hard to install. You have to place them at a certain distance. I think it's 2 inches from each other.
That's
And
correct.
so, yeah.
The tape that's pictured there is our residential DIY tape. We offer this for people who want to address residences or small scale projects. The idea is that the tape is pre-spaced with markers every 2 inches. You can see the gentleman on the left laying down the tape, and then what they do is remove the carrier tape, and you see the window on the right, and that is what the end product is.
Yeah, and this way birds can know that there's a window there, because they usually, you know, just don't realize, and they crash into them, and that causes all sorts of problems for them. So yeah, it's a pretty simple product, but it's making a huge positive impact on bird populations all over. So that's awesome. So let's just take a step back, and can you tell us a little bit about why birds are important for the ecosystems, and why do we need to protect them?
Well, there's so many parts to that question, and you know, it talks about even you know, seed placement. There's been a lot of studies over the years about how they are one of the biggest seed transporters. So, you know, they're eating berries, they fly to another area, and seeds are planted. There's so many different parts to it. You know, I think as most people realize, the ecosystem is this tight circle, and it's with insect control. Geez, I'm drawing a blank, but there's so many things. And Sheri, feel free to jump in here if you've got something to add.
Yeah, you know, the great thing about birds is they really are a huge foundation to a healthy and thriving ecosystem. And they have so many different jobs that they do for us in the environment, like Paul mentioned, with spreading seeds and pollinating. So that has to do with our food supplies. We've got our pest control birds, like our aerial insectivores, who are helping to keep insect populations under control. We've got, you know, our scavenger birds, who actually help stop the spread of diseases by taking care of, you know, the carcasses or things, and help recycle that nutrients back into the environment. And then we also have birds like our ocean guardian birds, who help keep our ocean ecosystems healthy and thriving. So it's really important. And one of the main things to really, you know, think about with this whole aspect of it is we really want to care about, you know, the main drive as to why we want to do this is birds that are hitting windows. It's not a case of survival of the fittest. You've got birds that are, you know, healthy breeding pairs. You've got birds that have babies back at the nest that are dependent on them for survival to keep future generations going. So it's really important that we treat our windows to save these species and keep these healthy, thriving ecosystems going for that, and many other jobs that they do for us in the environment. So it's a really important thing to really understand why we want to do this in the first place.
Yeah, definitely. Birds are so important for so many reasons in ecosystems, and you know, just on themselves, they are beautiful. There's a lot of
the joy that it brings us to just hear their, you know, their song. I think there's been studies done that have shown that people who live or work near areas where they get to enjoy nature and hear bird song it's just as much of a bonus to them as if they were to get a raise. As far as the quality and you know, the satisfaction in their lives. So they're a joy to be around and to watch and experience as well.
Yeah, they're amazing. Okay, so do you guys have some suggestions? There's a lot of people that are starting to, you know, think more about the environment and maybe trying to start eco-friendly businesses. You guys have been in business for a long time, 15 years, is that right? Do you have any general suggestions for people that are trying to start eco-friendly businesses?
I think, you know, it's probably twofold. To have a passion about, you know, we are so lucky to be playing a small part of change, of conservation. And that's a huge drive for us. So having that passion for something about creating change, I think that's probably 80% of it right there. And the other part of it is, you know, finding that niche, that area that is sort of neglected or maybe needs more awareness. You know, we often say that, yes, we have to sell product to keep the lights on, to keep people employed, etc. But that's not our main goal. Our main goal is about education. One of our logos that we've got in our boardroom with the tagline is education, conservation, proven solution. And that's the way we tackle things. It's, again, you have to sell product, but that's not the be all to end all to us. It's about having that passion about being part of change. So if someone sees an opening or an opportunity or a need, that's the fantastic opportunity to take.
Yeah, definitely. So you guys ship worldwide, is that right?
We do. So we have a couple different options. We've got our DIY product that we saw in the first slides there, and we do ship that worldwide. It's also available through several retailers. And then this picture here is more of our commercial product. So it's a larger scale product that we would use. Well, last year we did what is considered the world's largest collision mitigation project in Toronto. Nice. TD Towers, owned by Cadillac Fairview. Over 105,000 square feet of glass was addressed over 6 buildings, with more work being done this year. So you can imagine having a larger format, it installs a lot quicker. You can cover off a much wider area. And we ship that worldwide as well. And we do have a new product that we're working on that is a sort of an in-between product from the large scale and the small scale. It's sort of like a middle scale product that will be available May 1st. So we're quite excited. We're never standing still. We're always in research and development. We're always looking at what other things we can be doing. Again, when we first started this was, 1 or 2 patterns. We do 10 stock patterns. We do all kinds of custom work. The opportunities are endless, and we're finding now that, 15 years ago, everyone wanted something that was the least obtrusive, but the most effective, where now we're working on projects with architects that if something has to be on the glass, let's do something unique. Let's do something creative. Let's have add a graphic element to it.
Yeah, you can have beautiful designs as well. Yeah. So do you guys offer installation for big projects like this as well?
We do. So how we have our business set up is we are the manufacturer. We manufacture in Mississauga, just outside of Toronto, in our own facility here, but we have a network of authorized dealer applicators set up within North America as well as internationally to install the commercial end of product. So for instance, the TD Towers and a lot of Toronto work is done by one of our dealers called the Convenience Group. And they do a lot of work in the GTA and surrounding area. But then we probably have about, I want to say 80 plus dealers within North America. So we, again, we work with universities, etc. We get a call from someone in North Carolina. We're able to do an introduction to have a authorized dealer involved to give a proper supply and install quote, and go from there.
Yeah, that's nice. I was seeing some studies with stickers like these and how they really do make a difference on the amount of bird collisions, like you were saying. So that's awesome. And anyone can go to your website, which is featherfriendly.com. Is that right?
That is correct.
And yeah, you can purchase all sorts of different stickers from them, install them yourself. If you have a big project, you can reach out to you guys. And yeah, I will make sure to link some we'll link your website in the description and stuff.
Perfect.
So what are some of the main challenges that you guys have faced?
Some of the main challenges, funny enough, when, again, 15 years ago, when the city of Toronto was the first city in the world to develop BirdSafe guidelines, it was getting people on board.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think this is just about sticking a dot on a window. There's a lot more science that goes into it. And there's a lot of product development, sort of research and development of the product. We're probably on our 9th generation of the product. We're always making it better. This is something that there is an expense to it and it needs to last. So again, our commercial product is 15 years plus. Our residential DIY is 8 years. I think the biggest thing is getting people to understand that there is an issue or is a concern about collisions. And if there's anything good that's come from the pandemic, is the fact that people have sort of reverted back to nature. Mm-hmm. And they are a little more conscious of what's going on. 3 years ago, if you had said to people that residences are the biggest killers of birds, people have a hard time realizing that. A lot of times we heard, once or twice a year, I've had a bird hit my window and it stunned for a second and flies off, so it's okay. Well, first of all, we know that the head injury in the bird, most of the birds end up passing within 48 hours, if not properly treated. And the start of the shutdown in regards to the pandemic, everyone was working from home. Our DIY inquiries probably exploded by about 500%. It was absolutely crazy. We had people calling and emailing saying, I thought I had 1 or 2 bird strikes a year or a migration season. I've had 6 today.
Wow. And
that's literally what it can be. And people, you start talking to them and you go, well, you're away from your home anywhere from 8 to 12 hours a day if you're going into work, etc. And several birds could have collided. If there's any dead ones there, they've probably been scavenged or they've flown off into local vegetation for safety. So by the time you got home, you'd never know that there was a collision.
Wow.
Our DIY business and sales probably grew by 50% plus in spring migration of what was that, 2020. So it was really crazy. And it's, again, that's why the education part of it is so big for us. But I think, sorry, in coming back to your original question, what are the hurdles? Are people understanding the issue and wanting to do something about it?
Mm-hmm. And I think so too, for another aspect is letting people know there is a solution, because there's so many things that need to be addressed in the world that we need to make better, and letting people know that there is a scientifically backed, scientifically proven mitigation treatment available for this. This isn't something that we still need to solve. We have an option to treat this giant conservation issue. And so getting the word out as well is a great thing. And as Paul said, that's been growing over the last couple of years. So that hurdle has really been addressed, and it's great to see that information is getting out to the general public, and as well as not only residential owners, but as well as the commercial end of it as well. So more and more people are learning about the solutions as well, which is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, that's amazing. In Earth Connection Project, we try to focus on solutions, because you're right, there's so many problems and it's easy to just get overwhelmed and very sad about it, but it's like, let's find solutions, and you guys are doing great with this. Thank you so much for all the work that you're doing for the birds. It's amazing. And I didn't realize it's true. You could have a lot more bird collisions than you think and not even notice. So that's a good point.
Yeah.
So, well, you already talked a little bit about your hopes for the future and where you guys are heading. You're hoping that a lot more people are becoming more aware of this. What are some of your other plans for the future? You said you have a new product. Anything else?
We're always, so we've got several products in development. We've got some strategic partnerships in the works with some various organizations and some companies overseas as far as partnering with them for solutions. Yeah, it's a matter of not standing still. It's a matter of what else can we be doing? What else can we be offering? What other solutions can we develop? So, you know, that's a big thing in this industry. It's constantly changing. There's the opportunity to be doing more. And yeah, we always sort of want to be on that cutting edge of things. You know, we do a lot of R&D. We're constantly looking at other things. Some of them don't pan out. Some of them are winners, and you know, that's a key thing to any business.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's a mindset that everyone should cultivate more. Like nowadays, it's easy to just sit on your couch and watch Netflix all day. But I think we really are at a point where we need to start being more active and looking for more solutions for environmental issues. Like we need to do our best. So again, thank you for all the work you do. So what are other ways that people can support your efforts?
Well, I think it's continuing the conversation and asking the questions. You know, if people are unsure, if people are watching your video here for the first time and sort of the collision issue is a new one for them, but they're interested more, it's asking those questions.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we're here for. You know, most of my time I'm spent consulting on projects or working with clients about, you know, what can be done. You know, there are things you can do to continue the efforts of everyone in conservation. Take up the cause, ask the questions, talk about it more. You know, they're, again, supporting some great organizations out there. You know, in this space, in the bird collision issue, there are a lot of groups like Flap Canada, Safe Wings Ottawa, Lights Out Baltimore, all these different programs within North America that you can go and volunteer at. You can help monitor buildings. You can help build that data to bring more awareness.
Yeah. Sheri, did you want to say something?
No, I think Paul covered pretty much all of it. It's so important to just talk about it with your neighbors, you know, talk about what you can do at your own homes. I know you touched on a little bit there. One other thing that's very much in consultation with bird strikes is turning our lights out, whether it be at our homes or whether it be at the buildings as well, large scale buildings, because light will often draw birds into the cities, especially during migration season when birds are traveling at nighttime and they get drawn in to the light that they see. And once they're trapped in the cities and in these urban areas, they're more likely to hit the windows. So that's something definitely in relation to this particular issue that can really be in great partnership with helping to prevent birds hitting at all is keeping our lights out for sure. But
interesting. And then you save energy as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Win-win.
Together.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're actually interviewing Flap Canada next week. They're doing a lot of great work as well. And well, nowadays with social media, people can spread the word a lot easier, you know, just share a post or just write a little story about bird collisions, and it's amazing how easy it is to connect that way now. So take advantage of that, everyone, for sure.
And everyone can join us on our social media.
Yeah, which is Feather Friendly on Facebook and everything.
Yes, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
And you know, Anna, you make a perfect point about social media being such an incredible tool these days in bringing awareness. And it's great because we have a lot of people who follow us that treat their windows, whether it be a residence or a commercial building, and they'll tweet about it. They'll, you know, post something on Instagram, put it on their stories. And we encourage people to do that because, again, it's just bringing up that awareness even further. And people see how simple it can be done.
Yes, that's actually how I found out about you guys. And I hadn't thought much about this issue, and it really is a big issue. So yeah, just creating more awareness like that, it's a great tool that we have nowadays. So, well, what are other ways in which people can get involved in bird conservation? Well, you were already saying some. Do you have any other tips there?
I think you know, looking up maybe some of your local organizations to see how you can get involved. You know, of course, they're always looking for volunteers to help with various programs. You know, again, even doing something like what you're doing is you're sort of spreading the word. That's a big part of all of this, like we've been discussing all along. So yeah, that would be fantastic. You know, posting something about it, sharing a photo. You know, birding is such an incredible pastime, hobby, however you want to shape it or talk about it. It's something that is extremely healthy for people. And, you know, even for myself during the last couple of years with our limited interaction with people, I find that nature is sort of my, is my safe spot, is my sort of healing, spiritual and mental sort of healthiness. So, you know, geez, we even with the kids, you know, as we're birding or as we're out hiking or whatever, we bring along a garbage bag and pick up garbage that's you know, discarded. And you know, there's so many things we can do, you know, on I guess for like a healthy planet sort of scenario, right?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of ways to do it. When I walk my dog, now that snow is melting here in Minnesota, there's a lot of trash that has been caught into it. And yeah, just picking up garbage is a great way. Yeah.
And I think too, also it letting people know as well that if you, before you're able to actually treat your windows, if you do have a bird hit your window, always making sure you're reaching out to your local wildlife center so they can properly care for the bird as well. So supporting your local wildlife centers until you're able to seek treatment and get your windows treated for sure is another big aspect that can really be helpful in this community.
Yeah, definitely. And like you guys were saying, with the pandemic, I think everyone's turning again to nature and realizing a lot more the benefits that it has for your mental health, for your physical health. So it's great to just get out there and be in nature, and that way you can get more connected and realize more some of the issues that are happening. So yeah, thank you very much for all your great information. Is there any last words you guys would want to share with us?
Nothing from my end, but just thanking you very much for the opportunity to speak. And obviously, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We're more than happy to help people along. And yeah, thanks again.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Anna.
Yes, thank you guys. And again, you guys can follow them on social media. Check out their website. I will post some links on the description. And well, I think that is all. Thank you again for being here. Thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned at our social media, and also our website is earthconnectionproject.com. We will be interviewing and showcasing people that are doing great things for the environment, and also giving out tips of how everyone can help. So thanks again, and thanks everyone for watching. Thank you.